Hey, welcome back to another video. At some point, you have used Gemini, for example, as an alternative to ChatGPT. So in today's video, we're gonna discuss about the Gemini CLI, which is open source by Google for the Gemini itself, which come up to 1 million token per month. And token is basically could be one word, one character, or two word or two character combined, and that's also about 60 chat minutes and up to 1000 requests per day. So if you are somebody who's using a CLI a lot, or you would like to interact with the AI locally, could be useful to you. Let's go directly to the subject. Make sure that you have a Node version 20. So you could go here to this link and download at least version 20, or for example, the current stable version is 22. There's also 24, which is still under review. And then you could go and check which is your operation system. And then after that, you could go and run the tool itself locally without install it, or you could install it globally inside the system. So let's go here and crop this one and go to the terminal. So as you can see here, I'm in this current directory, which is called Gemini CLI. You can see here. Let me put the command to install it here locally. So I will hit enter to run it. All right, so it take a few moments and then be installed successfully. After that, we're gonna go and run Gemini. But before that, if you face a problem about Node, or you are not sure if you have the correct node, there will be a message here that say you have not the required node, or you could just double check like this one, node dash dash version, and then you will have it like this one. Otherwise, let's go here, Gemini, and then hit enter. Because I have already installed locally, I didn't have the theme selection and the authentication, but you could see it here. So this is the first window. You're gonna see it. You're gonna choose from this theme list the wanted theme that's fit your need. For me, I would go Dragola, and then you will see also something after that called authentication. It will be 3 options. You could go with the default Google account if you have like Gemini API key or Vertex API key. So you could go with any option that's fit to your need. So for me, I will go with the Google just to make sure that I authenticate again, use my account, sign, and then close the window. And after that, I should be okay. So let me explain to you something about the terminal CLI. So firstly, there will be the current directory that I'm working on. And there will be also sandbox, as well as this section, which is tell you which model currently that you are working on, how many contacts you have used or left, and so on. To see the available command, you just hit help. That should be enough. There will be just available command, for example, about, which is the current version of the Gemini itself. You would like to change the authentication for some reason, you could go here and change that one. If you would like to report bug to the system and so on, chat, here, documentation, editor, extension, help, and many more, and theme and tools, and so on. So first one, let's go and check the statistics here. So as you can see here, like current session I'm using and how long it have been run and how many calls and so on. Then second one will be editor. So there, if you have like installed more than one, then you could don't select anything. You could select, for example, one of those not available. You could just go and install them locally. Or if you have like already one, for example, I have Visual Studio Code, and I could use that one. It could be also Cursor, Vim, New Vim, and so on. You could also apply for the current user workspace and so on. So let's choose Visual Studio Code here. So the first test here is checking the weather, for example. what is the weather in London, for example. Yep, so I asked it about this question, what's the weather in London? The first tool it being used is the Google search, so the default Google search here, and searching for the web and then return the result, just improve them. For example, hey, the weather is currently blah, 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 will be, for example, humidity and more information. It will be also, for example, forecast for upcoming days and so on. So it will be also like tools. Then those available tools, we lastly use the Google search. You could give it permission, for example, to read about the current file or read about the current folder, read many files, save to the memory, search about the text. You could also, if you have something in the web, you would like to perform some action about it, you could go here and do that one as well. Write to the file, and you could also edit about the file. And then we could go to the editor, as I can say, just Visual Studio Code. Now, since I am in this directory, so if I perform this action, which is list about the current information. So, yep, so I don't have anything here. Let me just clear it. Yep, /clear. All right, so I'm gonna ask it to build just a simple application using, for example, a Go language. So can you create a later application using Golang with the basic operation and make UI nice and simple. All right, so let's see. So first will be understanding or just improve the writing. Hey, I would like to create simple calculator application in Go with a nice UI. Also, we use this library for the toolkit. Will be well suited for creation or application name in the current directory, and then the module instead of library, and write them inside the main.go and some more information. So I'm gonna accept that one. Let's see. All right, so go and create all the necessary files, download the necessary packages or module for the Go. All right, so there was error, for example, here it being autofix, and this is just a summary. This is what we can expect to see, so accept it. And then we need to go to this directory and run the application. Then do it again. There was error. Now it should be autofix it. All right, so it's open a window. So just create a window application, not a terminal-based application. So if I give it 2 plus 2, it will be 5. If I change this one to 12, it will be minus about this amount, plus, minus, multiplication, and division. So it's worked very fine. And then if I close this one here, this should be terminate the application, which is pretty interesting. Let's open the code in the editor and see how was the generated code itself. Can you open project with the editor? It should be, remember that we use the Visual Studio Code. So let's give it a moment. We can't directly open the project with the GUI editor, blah, blah, blah. Tell me to open the project in the terminal, which is, you need to use this one following. Okay, yeah, so can you open the calculator app with the Visual Studio Code? Let's see this time. We specify what we want, so enter, and should be any moment here. Yeah, so it's here. Let me close this one. So as you can see, if you are not familiar with the Go, so just there's like this main file, then the package and some other information related to it. So let's close this one here and open the main. So this is our application, and this is the code. Let me just close those here. Yeah, so this is the main function and the name of the application, and the first input, second input, result, and those are like different calculation and operation related to the calculator. So let's give it one more try by adding more advanced operation. Let's see, does this one will go correctly? Can you add more advanced operation up to 5 operations to calculator app? Something I like is first let you know, hey, this is the plan before implementation. Are you okay with it? For example, it will ask me, hey, but there will be power, square root, percentage, module, and so on. So yeah, I'm okay with it. Right now, we give it a moment to cook. Right, so there will be this output, those new operation. So I'm gonna accept those. And those are the new buttons and related to it. Okay, and now should run the application again. Wonderful. So as you can see, let me just open this one bigger. So there is like a reflection here to hide it. Let's see, 2 or 3 to the power 3. Now should be 29. It's nice. How about square root? How about module? How about percentage? About like 103, and that's a great. Let's ask it about suggestion. So can you suggest something about calculator app to be added? Let's see. Are there any good suggestion? So something I'm not thinking about at the moment. For example, there will be, for example, hey, you would like to add air button, you would like to improve the error handling, and that's also cool. But let's go to the chat, see what was the latest chat. Okay, let's exit from here, from the application. One more thing you could do if you don't want to open the CLI and do this one, but for some reason I'm facing problem here, so I'm not executed. So if you don't want it to perform any action or open terminal UI, then you could perform this action, Gemini UI, Gemini dash help, and this should give you the same information or the same thing. Other possibility here is that you could generate image and video. So if you go back, you can't directly create the image with the Gemini and Gemini CLI, but you could do this. You could go here and then do the image generation and go to the code. What's the programming language that you are familiar with? Then you could go and copy the code and run it locally. So you need before that one at least to get the Gemini API key, which is most likely will be paid, and then perform that one. So you could also get, for example, video generation in the same way and so on. And one last thing is this one. So you could, let's say our calculator application, there will be a specific rules to follow. For example, there will be the operation that we need, the theme for the application itself. Then we could specify it, for example, inside gemini.md markdown file, and that will be used so that Gemini CLI will use these rules or settings to follow before create or do any adjustment inside the application. And that was actually everything in this video. If you find it useful, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. See you next one.